for dinner tonight? Okay.
Rice, fish, and broccoli.
Yeah.
How you guys doing? What up? My name is Tyrell Gatewoods. I'm from Texas, Tyler, Texas to be more specific.
I'm Shari, and I am 36 years old. I am most commonly known on social media as Shezzy. It's not Sheezy, it's Shezzy.
I got my license 2020, and like Shari mentioned, I was selling homes. It started off hot. I had sold 4 homes.
In your first year?
Yeah. Less than my first year, to be exact.
I'm most comfortable describing myself as a cosmetologist, although I don't feel like that's what I am anymore, but that's what I was for the longest, so that's what I'm most comfortable saying.
My older 2 lived with me the last 4 years prior to moving here, since elementary. Their mom lived outside of Tyler, between Dallas and Tyler, so my oldest 2 basically stayed back with their mom to finish up schooling.
I guess my whole world kind of revolves around being a mom, so everything else branches from that. Tyrell and I have been together since 2009, but we've been married for 7 years. We recently moved to Georgia and we're living with my entire family.
We decided to move to Georgia because Shari's sister and my brother-in-law, that's not my brother-in-law.
Moving to Atlanta was not on the list at all. We thought about Dallas, we thought about Houston, just because they're in Texas, but they are more diverse cities in Texas. And so we considered those 2 places. And then when Sanya got the opportunity to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, my mom and dad decided that they were going to move here to support her. And so we were like, you know what? Maybe we'll try Georgia. We know for sure there's more diversity here, so let's give it a shot.
To be honest, I was kind of like the main person pushing the idea because I love Shari's family. I don't have a problem with them. And I, of course, love the Rosses. So I was like, man, we should probably try it out. That'll kind of help us out as far as considering if we're going to stay longer because, we all didn't know at the time. So I'm all for it. I feel like it was a good idea. That's what family is for. Why not lean on one another and, see how it happens.
When Tyrell said that he thought we should all live together, I thought that was ridiculous. As much as I love my family, and you cannot get any closer than we are, people run their households differently, and so I didn't want the difference in the way we live. Like Jamaicans say, see me and come live with me is 2 different things. I was always accustomed to going back to my own space, and I didn't want to put a strain on our relationship because of our differences. And so I was very worried about that, and I thought it was gonna be a terrible idea for all of us to live together. But Tyrell was insistent, and then I think my mom maybe jumped on board next, maybe my dad, whoever, and we decided to give it a shot.
I was on board simultaneously.
If you asked me this question in front of them, I would probably say something different. No, I'm joking, but no, honestly, I like it. It has its pros and cons like anything else in life, but it's not too bad. I don't think we're at each other's throat every day or anything, but overall, I like it. I think it was a good opportunity.
It was better than I thought, but also it's gotten to the point now. We've been together for about 14 months, and it's gotten to the point now where I think everybody's kind of craving being in their own spaces again. And so those differences are starting to get a little bit more glaring. And so I think it is time. Fortunately, we haven't had any strains on relationships yet, not too bad. But before we get to that point, I think that we're all kind of like, all right, let's make it happen within the next few months.
Well, she ain't here, so you want to tell us who was the hardest person to live with?
So I think that everybody would assume that Sanya was the most difficult to live with, and that's because she's the messiest.
No, she's here. That's not who I was speaking about.
Oh. Everybody would assume that Sanya would be the most difficult to live with because Sanya is just like all over the place. She's a tornado when she touches down. But it actually, I'll have to maybe block this person from my social media because I don't want it to be taken wrong, but I actually think Ross was the most difficult person for me to live with. And I say that because my sister and I are we're blood relatives, and we solve our issues very quickly. If we have a blow up, we can, look at each other afterwards, talk about it, and get over it. But with the in-law situation and with my brother-in-law in particular, I know how he likes to move. Like I know how he is at home, and I think that my thought process on how him living with all of us, he hasn't said this to me, this is just what I think, makes me uncomfortable because I feel like he's a little uncomfortable. And so I think that this situation kind of gets in the way of his groove. And so that makes it a little bit like walking on eggshells every day. And so for me, he has been the most difficult to live with, just thinking about how this affects him.
The goal that I'm the most excited about is, of course, attaining my real estate license in Georgia, officially getting it, because since we moved here, I didn't get my license because I didn't have the network, and I didn't want to be, taking on the fees with everything without having a network to potentially sell or buy homes. So my goal is to get my license here. I'm starting this new class January the 23rd that I'm excited about with Melody Holt, property preservation, and that's in real estate as well. So that's my number one goal, is to get in that class, learning it, and putting it into action, most importantly.
So that's actually a really tough question, and that's tough for me because I have always known in life what I wanted to do. I loved doing hair ever since I was really little, and so me going to cosmetology school and being a hairstylist was like LeBron playing basketball and making it to the NBA. Like, I just knew exactly what I wanted to do, what the trajectory of my life would be, and that's what I did. So being 36 and sitting here saying, hey, I don't really know what it is I want to do, it's kind of tough. So figuring that out is where I'm at. During the pandemic, taught myself how to sew, and I really love sewing kids' clothes, but I don't think I want to make a career out of that. I work and travel with my aunt and her travel agency business, and I enjoy doing it, but I don't know if I want to make a career out of that. I work with Sanya, I do her hair for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I like that, but I wouldn't want to take on more clients.
Faith, man, I believe in it. I'm with my wife. As long as I'm with my wife and my family, I will figure it out. I'm someone who, I don't want to be bound to one place, because I feel like as long as I take myself and I'm being organic, then everything will work out in whatever fashion, as long as my wife and I are on the same page.
The last time that I had to like sweep the kitchen, when I felt like it wasn't my turn to sweep the kitchen, I was like, we're leaving in February. That I had to calm down and realize that I was being emotional, and that there were several other things on the list that we wanted to accomplish before we took the leap again. And so I've calmed down, and we're thinking May or June for all of us though. All of us are on that same page where we're thinking May, June will be around the time where we need to all be ready to leap again. So few months from now, we're in January, so but these months feel like weeks sometimes, so it'll be here before we know it. So it's all about getting all the things done to be in a position to move come May.
I'm looking forward to you guys to know more about us, the Gatewood family. I'm excited about this journey. I'm a person that like to, be more, what's the word?
Transparent?
Transparent. I'm a person of transparency. I like to be open about things, my good times, bad times, and transitions I know could be a hard time for anyone. Everyone go through it at some phase of their life, so what more can you ask for? And I'm excited to take you guys on this journey with us. Thank you for being here.
So we want you guys to come along for the journey. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these things are going to be new to us. I have not rented an apartment personally ever. I've lived in an apartment, but it wasn't my rental, so this is going to be brand new to me. We're very transparent people. We believe that we can learn from other people's experiences, so we want you to comment, like, subscribe, share, and be interactive with us. Help us along the journey as much as we want to help you guys along your journey, and let's learn from each other. All right? Follow us on Instagram, and 2023, we are getting it done for fill in the blank. Your last name, your family, whatever is important to you. Love you guys, and let's do it.